With so many people being killed by guns, our president needs to find a way to protect our communities.
Our president-elect's plan is to lift any ban on guns. People will also be able to buy a lot more guns than during President Obama's presidency.
He says that we will be able to use these guns to protect ourselves. Some people think that this is good, seeing it as a way of self-defense, while others think it is bad.
But I don't like changing anything. Right now they have plenty of rules and regulations, and they should be looking at mental health. I mean, we should build like institutions for people that are sickos. We have sickos all over the place, and that's the problem.
So you'd spend some more money on that, maybe?
Here's the problem. I would definitely spend more money on that. Here's the problem. The bad guys are always going to get the guns. You can have all the restrictions you want, but the bad guys are always going to have the guns.
Where young people were going to school, and some not so young. You know, the victims I read are between 18 and 67. A 5-month-old baby strapped into her car seat in the back of a car was killed by a stray bullet in Cleveland. The third baby in just a few months to be murdered in Cleveland. Between 88 and 92 people a day are killed by guns in America. Last figures we have for a whole year is more than 33,000.
My name is Hugh Baird. I'm the Director of Communications and Issue Development for the Senate Democratic Caucus. The Second Amendment is part of the Constitution. It is a very old, very strong provision of the Constitution.
My name is Eric Pappenfuss, and I am the mayor of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I believe that the Second Amendment it has generally been misinterpreted by modern scholars, and that originally the Second Amendment was meant to refer to a different time. There's a lot of talk today about original intent when it comes to interpreting the Constitution and interpreting the amendments, but my general view of the Constitution is one that it was meant to be redefined over time as society progressed and as people changed. And so you have an amendment that was originally supposed to be, in my opinion, about militias and about defending oneself against a standing army. Actually, it was supposed to be about the defense of individuals against the state. And today it has somehow become about the right to own handguns. And there weren't even handguns at the time the amendment was written. There were dueling pistols and things like that, but for the most part, it was meant to refer to rifles, and it was meant to refer to the right to be able to pick up arms to defend yourself against an oppressive government. So I think it's something that has changed in meaning over generations, and actually, if you look historically, I think the Second Amendment today, the interpretation on the individual right to bear arms, that is a relatively new phenomenon. And it is something that was largely put forth by an advocacy group called the National Rifle Administration, which is the NRA, which is basically a group advocating to sell guns.
Harsher penalties might make any potential criminal have second thoughts about buying a gun. It seems that this is the popular opinion.
We interviewed some people at the Pennsylvania Capitol, and it definitely seemed this was an overwhelming opinion.
Our president-elect has views on the Second Amendment that many people disagree on.
My name is Stephen Bruder. I'm the policy director for the Pennsylvania Senate Caucus. I'm a strong gun control believer. While I believe the Second Amendment certainly allows folks to own and possess firearms.
My name is Thomas Carter. My job title is police chief.
Okay.
There's two kind of citizens, you know. You have the one group that are the gun abiding citizens that are legally licensed, that aren't looking to go out on the streets and rob and shoot people. Then you have other citizens who illegally possess guns. So I like the first group that I first started off talking about. I like those that are legally licensed, I like those who are law-abiding citizens, and I like those who have no intent to do anything wrong with their guns. Now, people have guns for many reasons. We have a lot of hunters out there. We have a lot of people who like to collect guns. So I would say that the second group is a group of people that makes our job harder. Is the people who are not law-abiding citizens, those who should not possess guns, and those who have felony records. So that's the group that concerns me more. But anybody who is legally licensed to own a firearm or understands a firearm, I don't have problems with that. I believe that education is the key. You have to educate people. You have to get kids when they're of school age, but everything starts at home. You have to constantly let people know, that guns were made to kill. That's their primary purpose, is to take somebody else's life. Even military soldiers during war times, they have guns to take someone's life. Police officers is a little different, because we don't necessarily want to take people's lives. We're only there to keep the peace. We are guardians of the peace. So police officers aren't really tasked with taking someone's life. We're tasked with saving people's lives. So that's the difference right there.
Donald Trump believes that any average citizen should be able to buy guns if they can afford them.
He also says that all they need is to train people to use guns safely.
People seem to believe that there should be more gun control, but they should still be allowed.
Guns can be very dangerous, and our president needs to make sure that the people feel safe.
Hopefully our president will make the decision that the people want.